Hey, what's up guys? So in today's video, we're gonna make actually something like this. It's a modular home fixturing clamp device, I guess that's what you want to call it. It actually goes into a fixturing table like this and can actually clamp in the horizontal position like that. And it can also go in the vertical direction like this and clamp down as well. What makes this special from the fixturing ones I've seen is that I've incorporated a quick release system that makes it faster to make adjustments when clamping parts from the side. And with some simple modifications, you can make one for about 10 bucks. But before we jump into making one, I want to give a quick shout out to my good friend Wolfgang from 6L Designs. This is where I got the initial idea from when he made his homemade side clamps for his welding table. Now let's go over what you'll need to build this clamp. For materials, 1, you'll need a quick release C-clamp. 2, 5/8 cold roll round bar. 3, 1" by 3/16 wall DOM tube. 4, a thumb screw. And for the tools, you'll need a drill bit and a tap for a 1/4 thread. 2, a 5/8 drill bit. 3, you'll need filler rod. There are going to be 2 types depending on what alloy the clamp material is. 4, a TIG welder or a MIG welder. TIG is preferred if you have it. If not, a MIG welder would be just fine. I'll leave links in the video description to all the materials and tools I used to make this. With that out of the way, let's build this thing. For the C-clamp, I went with this one because it had the quick release feature. There are many standard ones to choose from light to heavy duty, so pick one that better suits your needs. The first thing I do is take out the internals of the quick release so they don't get damaged during the welding process. Because we're just going to need the quick release and the screw portion of the clamp, the rest can be trimmed away. I trimmed it to be as close to the clamp screw. I do this to help give me the lowest limits of what I can achieve when side clamping shorter parts. Next is to grab some 5/8 round bar. This will be the shaft that will weld to the quick release. I use the 5/8 cold roll versus the hot roll because dimensionally, cold roll is more consistent, offering a better tighter fit into the 5/8 holes of my fixturing table. I cut it to a length of 6 inches for the parts I plan to side clamp. Somewhere between 4 inches to 8 inches is a good place to start. Before I could weld the parts together, I was unsure what the material was for the clamp. It definitely looks like a cast iron part, and I thought it was cast iron or something, which means I would need to use a special filler rod to weld steel shaft to a cast iron part. But after shaving down the coating, the material looked to be carbon steel. To make sure, I picked up the scrap left over from the clamp and welded up a test sample. I used the standard ER70 S2 filler rod and TIG welded the cold roll shaft. To see if it would hold up, I grabbed the hammer and gave it a few whacks. Well, looks like it's gonna hold to me. However, if it was indeed cast iron, then I would have gone with the nickel 99 TIG welding rod, which makes it possible to weld the 2 different materials. And for those who don't have a TIG welder, let's try using this with MIG. And that also seemed like it's going to hold too. However, I do want to point out that the MIG will leave a larger fill profile, making it sit slightly higher when installed on the table. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to attaching the shaft to the quick release. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but I grinded down a slight angle on the shaft, roughly 5 degrees. This will provide better clamping force when side clamping parts. Okay, I like how it's working so far. but let's take it up a notch. To make this more modular, I'm going to add a second component. Remember the DOM I mentioned earlier and the thumb screw? We're going to use that for this. I drilled it and tapped it for the thumb screw. Next, I take about 8 inches of the cold roll rod and weld it to the collar. Because of the shrinkage, I needed to clear the hole for the shaft to fit. Here you could use your 5/8 drill bit and drill a hole through it, sort of like reaming it out. But for me, I end up using my die grinder, and I was able to shave the inside slightly to clear. Now we're able to clamp vertical. By the way, the thumb screw helps the clamp from spinning on me before I initiate the clamping. And if we add a second one to the mix, then we can also clamp things that are at an angle. And that's how you make this homemade modular fixture clamp. Adding this fixturing clamp now gives me some flexibility when it comes to clamping things that are in odd places. I know there are welding magnets out there that can help hold parts in a similar way, but if you need more clamping force, then I think this is a good option. Here are a few examples of how this clamp can come in handy. If you're looking to make one like I did in the video, I'll leave links in the video description for more information. Anyways, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button and subscribe for DIY projects like this. With that out of the way, time to get to the next project.